Alright, in the last section, we have completed the header part of the project. In this section, we're going to work on the backend side, and we start creating the backend part of the project. And first, we want to create the server. We want to run the server. So we can just go to Visual Studio Code, and here we can open the Explorer section here. We just create a separate folder with the name API. And then we need to initialize a package.json file here, but we need to do it in the root of our project, not inside the API folder, because actually when we deploy our website, the render platform is going to check the root of our website and consider both of the backend and the frontend. So the backend, the package.json should be inside the root. So here we go back by just saying cd ... and make sure you are inside the root with this folder, and then we just initialize a package.json file using npm init-y, and we press enter. And then as you can see inside this package.json, we already have the name of our projects, which is created based on the folder we have. Then we have the version, description is empty, and the main file here is index.js. So we have to create a file called index.js, and these are the scripts that we're going to modify soon. But now we just want to create this file inside the API folder, and then here we just say index.js, and here we need to, first thing first, we want to install Express. Here we just say npm install. Let me clear this so you can see it better at the top. And here we just say npm install Express. So we need to use Express framework to easily create our backend and APIs. And once we install it, we can just import Express from Express. And using Express, we can create an application, which is a const app equals to Express. And the app gives us a lot of methods to use. The first one we want to use is to listen a port number. We just say app to listen. You want to listen to, if check, so listen to port 3000, and then we want to return, we just say server is running on port 3000. So this is going to listen to this port number, and then we're gonna in this callback function, we're gonna say console log server is running on port 3000, and it can be any port number. It can be 4000, 5000, it doesn't matter. And here we can run our server. We just use node. We just have to run this file, which is inside this folder API. We just say API/index.js. So let's see what's error we are getting. As we are using import here, we need to change the type from, as you can see, it's saying that the type module is required for using this kind of import. So we need to go to this package.json file, and here after this main, we can just add type. This is JSON, so we need to put it inside a double quote, and then this one can be module here. So the default one is common.js. So in order to import packages, if you don't want to use type module, you need to use require instead of import. So now if you run again, we can see that it is showing server is running on port 3000. But if I do some changes here, for example, if I add an exclamation mark here, we see that it is still showing server is running on port 3000 without exclamation mark. So actually you need to restart the server each time you do some changes, which is very time consuming and annoying. So we can fix this one using a package called nodemon. So I'm going to stop the server using Ctrl+C, and I'm going to install this package, which is npm install nodemon. And once we install it, we can just say nodemon API/index.js, but the best practice is actually add a script for that. So we can just go to package.json here, and we have a test script here, but we can just add more things. We can just delete this one. I want to add a script called dev. So for npm run dev, I want to run nodemon API/index.js. And then each time I use npm start, I want to use Node API / The reason I have added this start is when we want to deploy the application to render, we need to add this npm start because the render is it needs to run our backend with using Node. And you don't need to actually install the nodemon in the dependency. You can install it in the dev dependency, in the development dependency. So you could add just that dev at the end and install it there because we don't use this nodemon in the production. Okay. So if I want to run now nodemon API / index.js, we just need to write down npm run dev. So this is going to run the nodemon. As you can see, the server is running on port 3000. And then if I do some changes here, for example, if I remove these exclamation marks, you can see the server is restarting automatically using nodemon. So we don't need to worry about restarting the server anymore. So that was it for creating and starting the backend. So now let's add this one to the GitHub. I just noticed that